Hello, everyone. We are going to continue our work with addition and focusing on fractions and decimals. Another way to think about the addition of fractions and decimals is to think about money. Money always have fractions and decimals built into it. So today we're going to focus on dimes and pennies, but you'll also be doing some additional practice using other forms of coins as well. So we all are very familiar with a dime. We know a dime is worth 10 cents. In the past, you have probably written 10 cents like this, but now that you are a more advanced fourth grader, anytime you write money, the expectation is that you are now writing it as a decimal. The reason it's written this way is because you have no full dollars, so there is a zero in the ones place. You have your decimal point, and we know that a dime is worth 10 cents. Now, let's talk about that a little bit. Over here, you see a group of dimes. If you were to count them, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, you would notice there are 10. 10 dimes, each costing 10 cents. We know 10 times 10 is equal to 100. So 10 dimes is 100 cents or $1. So here's a way to think about this. A dollar has 10 dimes. 1 out of the 10 is 1/10. The other way to think about this is there are 100 cents in the entire dollar. 1 dime is worth 10 cents. So notice how 1/10 and 10 hundredths are equivalent. You can represent a dime, 10 cents, as 1 out of the 10 dimes that it would take to make up the whole dollar, or 1/10, or 10 out of the 100 cents that you would need to make up the whole dollar. So when you're thinking about converting tenths to hundredths, think in terms of money. It works the same way with pennies. So let's, before we get to the pennies, practice with a couple more dimes. So here you can see we have dimes. We know dimes are worth 10 cents. We know it takes 10 dimes to make up the whole dollar. So here we have 3 out of the 10 dimes. The other way to think about that, though, is that's exactly the same thing as having 30 cents. 30 cents out of a whole dollar, or 100 cents. In the next model here, you see we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we have 5 out of the 10 dimes that it takes to make up a whole dollar, or 50 cents. That's 50 out of the full 100 cents that it takes to make up a dollar. So you can see how these amounts are equivalent. It's just a matter of whether you want to express it as out of how many dimes you would need, or out of how many cents in the whole dollar. So let's look at the pennies. A penny is 1 out of the 100 cents that it takes to make up a dollar. So in the past, you've learned to write 1 cent like this, only that would look a little bit more like a C. There, that's better. But now that you are a fourth grader, we encourage you to write it as a decimal. So again, no complete dollars, so there's a 0 in the ones place. There are no dimes right here, so that's why there's a 0 in the tenths place. And we have 1 penny, or 1/100th. That's why the 1 is in the hundredths place. Over here, you are seeing, yes, that really is 100 pennies. 100 times 1 cent gives you $1, or 100. So let's look at a couple penny situations. So in this situation, we have 8 pennies. That's 8 out of the full 100. Okay? In this situation, we have 10, 20, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34. 34 out of the 100 pennies that it takes to make up a dollar. So when you're given an addition situation, think in terms of money. For example, if you were given the situation, of 3 tenths plus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 hundredths, you know you don't have to do anything to change the hundredths, but you do have to turn the tenths into hundredths. And here's all you think about. 3/10, 3 dimes is 30 cents, or 30 hundredths. So now that you've turned the 3 dimes into 30 hundredths, you can complete your addition of 39 out of 100. We're going to spend the next few days focusing on money. So one of the tasks that you're going to be asked to do is to use iknowit.com and practice your money skills. What you're going to need to remember is the amount that goes with each coin. So a quarter is worth 25 cents. Notice 2 groups of 10 and 5 ones. Okay. A dime is worth 10 cents. A nickel is worth 5 cents. And a penny is worth 1 cent. Okay. So remember those amounts. Make sure you go on to I Know It and complete the assignment that is listed in Google Classroom.